All right, so it's the enemy's job, so I could be more than one to let you know when God is about to bless you. So, I had a situation dealing with, at work when people try to, attack your character and people try to act or whatever, but act a certain way. But, you know, when that happens, even at work, God is going to bless you. So, I'm just so fired up, and I just thank God for patience and everything like that. Job 36:15. By the means of their suffering, He rescues those who suffer, for He gets their attention through adversity. So anytime you're facing like great amounts of adversity, it's because God is about to do something, and so that's when God gives the enemy permission to bother you. So the enemy's job is to get you to not, give God praise while you're in the hallway, because God is about to bless you. Colossians 3:23, it says, work willingly at whatever you do, as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people. See, sometimes when we're attacked at work, we want to stop our work ethic. No, you don't stop your work ethic or anything like that. And you also don't be like a pushover and let anybody try to, take advantage of you, but you can still do what you're called to do or what they ask you to do or anything like that. But, sometimes they feel like they can just say all types of things out their neck because of the authoritative position. But God is going to deal with that, and it's a way that you can talk to somebody and tell them, what's bothering you or anything like that. But Matthew 5:11, it says, God blesses you when people mock you and persecute you and lie about you and say all sorts of evil things against you because you are my followers. So because we're following Christ, we're going to have some people like that. They just don't know any better. That's why Jesus was on the cross and He said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Luke 23:34. So that's why I count it all joy. So I just thank God. James 1:2. Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds. So anytime, like I said, you're facing it, that's when you're closest to your blessing, and God is about to do something. That's why you can just say, you know what, God, like I thank you when people say, oh, Jesus, take the wheel, or, saying everything is coming at you. That's because God wants you to focus on Him and not focus on everything around you, because you can kind of, God is teaching us how to ignore that. You got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? But the battle is the Lord's and not ours. But yet you got to show up to the battlefield, so you got to deal with people at work, you know what I'm saying? But you don't let that affect your work ethic, so after the situation happened at work, you know what I'm saying? I still continue to do excellent customer service or anything like that, because I love God, because God has something, and sometimes God will make things uncomfortable because He's going to push you into another place. Now, God called us to love people. God did not call us to like people. It's a big difference. So I just want to say that if anything is, coming at you or anything like that, that's because God's about to bless you. So you might as well count it all joy, because your blessing is on the way. And when you get that, that's when you learn to have patience on a great level, and some people are not going to understand it, because sometimes they see me, and if I'm not always like, happy go lucky or whatever, or happy, very happy, you know what I'm saying? Then they take that as frustration. I had to tell, saying somebody at work, I said, no, it's just disappointment. I'm just disappointed, but there wasn't no emotion about me being frustrated, you know what I'm saying? But it's just saying, you're disappointed in the way somebody acts. So I just wanted to say that. So I know a little bit past 3 minutes, but just want to say, stay encouraged. The joy of the Lord is your strength.